Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Have you ever wondered why everything in this reality feels inverted? Why you spend your whole life chasing something that, in essence, you already have? Because the Matrix isn't just a system, it's a system of distortions. Everything you were taught is an inverted version of the truth, the absolute opposite. Take money. From childhood, we're convinced money is a resource you have to fight for, that there isn't enough, that it can only be earned through suffering, long hours of labor, pain, burnout, that you have to be better than others to get it. But the truth is that money energy is a vibration of abundance. It doesn't come to the one who suffers. It flows to where there is lightness, flow, and inner permission. The Matrix does everything to make you forget that. It programs you for lack so you create it yourself. You look around and think, yeah, I really don't have much money, so that must be reality. But you don't see that your perception is exactly what forms what you see. You become an observer who doesn't realize they're controlling the process, and then you're already in the trap. The Matrix taught you to look for love outside yourself, in someone else, in relationships, in approval, in attention. You were implanted with the idea that love must be earned. You have to be good, convenient, beautiful. You have to fit the mold. And only then, if you're lucky, you'll get that tiny crumb of warmth. As if love is a reward for obedience. But that's a lie. The most destructive lie of this system. Because the truth about love is that you are love. You are the source. Not a reflection, not a request, not an ojidania. You are capable of feeling love every moment simply because you are alive. But if you believed you are emptiness, you will search for it in others forever, and you will be disappointed forever. The Matrix feeds on that disappointment, that pain, because suffering is the fuel of the system, and love is the destroyer of its code. When you remember that love is your inner nature, you become dangerous. You no longer need, you don't beg, you don't submit. You're free. They trained you to live by the clock, second by second, as if every one of them isn't yours. Morning, work, day, duty, evening, fatigue, year, age, life, a race. The system wired the fear of time into you. You won't make it. You're already too old. You've heard these words since childhood, and you started believing them. But the truth is that time doesn't exist the way they show it to you. It's not reality. It's an interface, a program, an illusion you read as movement. While you believe time is passing, you age. While you fear you won't make it in time, you burn out. The Matrix rushes you so you don't stop, so you don't hear the silence, so you don't notice that inside you there is eternity. The present is always here. You were never in the past. You never saw the future. You were always only in now, which means you can step out of time. And when you step out, age disappears, hurry disappears, deadlines and fears disappear. Only you remain, and your power, and your game. The Matrix convinced you that you are a body, weak, vulnerable, aging, and now your whole perception of reality is built through fear. Fear of getting sick, fear of getting old, fear of dying. But think, who are you without the body? You can observe it. You feel it, but you are not it. You are not the heart, not the skin, not DNA. You are the one who observes. Consciousness, light, vibration, a player controlling a biological suit. This body is only an interface, like a joystick in the hands of a gamer. It is a platform for your experience. But the Matrix turned it into your prison. It stitched illness, mortality, aging into the code, to keep you in fear and submission. So you wouldn't think about the main thing, who you were before birth and who you will be after you exit the game. They taught you to hate your body, to be ashamed of it, to fix it, cut it, punish it. Because if you start loving it, you will start healing yourself. And that means you become dangerous to the system. Because the real player is immortal. He doesn't fear death. Because he is already beyond flesh. Because he has awakened. They made you believe power belongs to them, that decisions are made by rulers, presidents, corporations, that you are a cog, a helpless particle in a giant machine. But this is an illusion, because power in this system is built on attention, on your energy, on your fear. You think they're stronger because they have an army, money, control. But in truth, their power exists only because you feed it with your attention every day. You turn on the screen. You read the news. You get pulled into someone else's game. The Matrix taught you not to trust yourself. So now you wait for someone to solve everything for you. For someone above to give you permission to live, create, be happy. But real power isn't outside. It's in you. Inside every choice. Inside every no you say to these programs. The moment you withdraw your attention, their entire empire collapses, because they don't feed on oil or gold. They feed on your consciousness. Awakening begins right here, with the realization that you are the very force they fear. From your first breath, they start installing commands. You can't even speak yet, but you're already being programmed. This is good, this is bad, this is forbidden. You don't notice how your thinking gets stitched. As a child, they tell you fairy tales not so you'll dream, but so you'll accept a script where you are always dependent on parents, teachers, bosses, the state, religion. You grow up and the templates become stricter. Find a stable job. Don't stand out. Follow everyone. And the scariest part is, you get used to it. You accept the world as it is, even when it hurts you. You think, maybe that's just how it's supposed to be. But that's a lie. Every system, school, the army, religion, television, even cartoons, doesn't train you for freedom. It trains you for obedience. It doesn't activate your consciousness. It dulls it. You become an adult, but not free. You follow a route written before you, and you don't even realize you're trapped. But the truth is, you can exit. You don't have to destroy the system. You have to step out of it with your attention. Only then you'll see how everything around you was a performance. How the rules were written so you would never become yourself. Imagine you have a wallet, but instead of money, it's filled with energy. Life energy, emotional energy, mental energy. Every morning you wake up with a certain balance, and everything depends on what you spend it on. Now ask yourself, where is your energy going? Into anxiety? Fear? Conflict? Into empty conversations? Complaints? Scrolling through other people's lives? Now understand the main thing. Everything around you is designed to make you leak. People who trigger you. Events launched precisely to hook you. Even advertising. Even the news. This isn't just content. It's a trap for your attention. Your energy is fuel, and the Matrix doesn't care whether you're happy. It cares that you burn but don't shine. That you get depleted but don't awaken. When you're angry, you give. When you're jealous, you give. When you're trying to prove something, you give. And it all goes nowhere, or into someone's feeder. Yes, they really do feed on you. Emotions are currency, especially strong ones. And fear is a delicacy for the system. Now pay attention. The ones who can keep inner calm become tasteless for the Matrix. Unbreakable. That's exactly why such people get labeled dangerous. They don't give away their power. They don't drain into emptiness. They transform energy into clarity, into flow, into action. Want that too? Start counting. Not money. Energy. Every day. Who got a piece of your force? Who did you give your life to? In fragments. And how much did you keep for yourself? You think it's just a bad mood. You think you're tired, burned out at work, didn't sleep enough. But the truth is different. You're being fed on. Every day. Softly. Invisibly. Systematically. Your strength is being stolen. Your energy is flowing, and not back to you. You create reality, but for some reason it isn't yours. Let's put it differently. Imagine you're a power station. You generate current through every thought, every emotion, every experience. But that current doesn't light up your home. It leaks through hidden wires into someone else's scenario. This system has parasites. You don't see them. They don't threaten you. But they're tuned to your frequency like a radio station. The moment you get angry, they're already there. The moment you fall into guilt, anxiety, resentment, it's a feast. First, it's people. Yes, some friends, relatives, coworkers. The ones who always appear when you're down. The ones who sympathize, but after talking to them you feel squeezed dry, and they somehow look energized. That's not chance. That's a hookup. And deeper still, there are energetic entities. Not humans, not forms. They don't have bodies. They exist in the field. You don't see them, but you feed them every time you live in fear. The system is built so you're never at peace, so you never know who you are, so you never reach your true frequency. Because if you do, everything collapses. The matrix loses its battery. You become autonomous. That's why there are so many distractions, shows, scandals, news, anxiety. They're traps, energetic traps. The system doesn't feed on bodies, it feeds on experiences. And now the question is, how much longer are you willing to give? You're being read like an open book. Not because you're weak, because you were trained to be transparent. You react, they read you. You get angry, so you're hooked. You take offense, so you're manageable. You fear, so you're under control. Every reaction is data, and data is power. The matrix doesn't just observe, it builds behavior models like an artificial intelligence. You're like a test subject in a game where every move gets saved to a database. Here's the main rule. Either you control your reality or it controls you. To exit the game, you have to become unreadable. Not indifferent, autonomous. Here's how you take your power back. 1. Stop the attention leaks. Background noise, TV, scandals, social media, the feed. This is a distraction system. You burn energy on what doesn't even touch your real life. 2. Remove triggers. If someone provokes anger, there's a hook. If an event throws you off, there's a program. Anything that pulls you out of your center must be seen. While you react, you are controllable. 3. Close emotional loops. If you dream about the same person, if you replay the same past scene again and again, this isn't just memory. It's an energetic channel. You're still inside it. You're feeding it. Close the loop. Let it go. Thank it. Move on. 4. Stop explaining yourself. You don't have to be understood by everyone. You don't have to be convenient. The matrix shapes templates around those who constantly define and justify themselves. Become silence. Become inner clarity. Become the one who doesn't explain, who tunes the field. 5. Lock your frequency every morning, with every action. Don't spill your energy. Don't scatter. You don't owe a reaction to every trigger. You choose what deserves your power. When you stop reacting, you become invisible to the system. You become a source, not a conduit for other people's programs. And in that moment, you start controlling not the game, but yourself. You didn't just watch this video. You heard it. You remembered. Which means you are already part of another reality. You're not the one who searches anymore. You're the one who knows. Everything was flipped upside down. And it's time to put it back in place. Knowledge isn't text. Knowledge is energy. And right now, you're holding it in your hands. Thanks for being here on the channel. See you in the next video. Bye, everyone.